Your objective is to hide with your teammates. Avoid being killed.
Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of the 400 subscriber special. To be honest, I actually thought there would only be 2 parts, but looks like we need more time to talk. So this is a short manhunt gameplay with Kitty. Unfortunately, there wasn't much of a second round because the other team rage quit. I wanted to share this with you guys anyway because it's a shorter gameplay. Let's get started. To recap, the story I was telling in the middle of telling, I actually just won tickets to see Florence and the Machine, and I gotta go ask the girl I like to go with me. This date even gets better. Now, although it's our first date, I am taking her to a concert. That might seem super extreme, but I have been friends with her for over a year. This gets even more awesome. The venue is actually near Google headquarters in California. And if you've never been to Google headquarters, which you probably haven't, that place is amazing. Do you want to take a girl to the movies? Do you want to take her bowling? Do you want to take her dancing? They literally have that all at Google. My uncle works over there, so he invited us to go hang out while we're waiting for the concert to start, because the plan was I would go to school since this was a Friday, go to school, go to Google, hang out there until the concert was about to begin, and since Google was a 2-minute walk away from the venue, we'd walk over there, go to the concert, and I'd probably have her home around 1 a.m. Now, I cannot emphasize enough how much of a dream date it is to take a girl to Google. If you don't know, I just Googled it right now. Google is worth, as of 2010, $163.2 billion. So they have a little bit of pocket change to spare. They have everything there. I mean, they have everything from a T-Rex skeleton replica covered in pink flamingos to unlimited food or drink everywhere. You're no more than, I forget if it's 500 feet or meters. You're never more than, let's say, 500 meters away from somewhere where there's food, from a cafeteria. They have a bowling alley. You can do your laundry there. They have a bus that literally goes around and picks up their employees, drives them over some other part of Google, because it's a huge area, drives you somewhere else to go get haircuts. I mean, what other workplace is there in the world that offers haircuts? They actually have a bus pick you up from your station, drive you across the huge campus of Google to go get a haircut. I mean, they have their own doctor. I can't drink, but it seems like they have an unlimited amount of free beer over at Google, which, you know, I couldn't have taken advantage of. But if you were to spend an entire week at Google, you probably wouldn't even spend time doing half the stuff that they have to offer there. And that's, you got to keep in mind, this isn't an amusement park. This is somewhere where people work. And I was going to take her on a tour of Google with my uncle, and after that, taking her to a Florence and the Machine concert. Now, the venue was absolutely beautiful. It was starlit. It was one of those nights where it wasn't bone-chillingly freezing cold, but it was just cold enough where I'd have an excuse to put my arm around her. It was absolutely perfect. I mean, the concert was amazing in itself. And if you don't listen to Florence's music, she's not part of like a hardcore metal rock group, although I know some couples would probably enjoy that. She's part of more of a soul, pop, art. I mean, I can't put Florence and the Machine into a genre, but the sort of music they have, perfect for listening to on a date. And now that I have this entire absolutely perfect date planned out, one thing left to do, right? Ask the girl. I remember mentioning in part 1 of the 400 subscriber special that the more interesting stories were the more sad and heartbreaking ones. Unfortunately, that's true for this story. I remember how I tried to ask her out. I had this brilliant idea where she would go to this club after school. I would walk her. I knew she'd always take the bus home, so I'd walk her to the bus stop, maybe offer her a ride home. She would take it. I'd walk her up to the door, pull the tickets out of my back pocket, and ask her to go with me. Brilliant way to ask her. Brilliant date, right? Unfortunately, it didn't go quite as planned. She didn't say yes, but she didn't say no. So to this day, I swear I really wish she would have said no, which I think might confuse some of you guys, and I'll explain. So she said she couldn't go because her parents wouldn't let her. Now, I partially expected this answer. I was hoping she wouldn't give me this answer, but she did. She said her parents wouldn't let her go. I know her parents are super strict and don't let her hang out with guys or go on dates, so I saw this one coming. So I was going to take my friend Ryan anyway. I had a backup plan, but I was really sad that she couldn't go. So I asked her, alright, so if your parents would let you go, would you go? And she said the word that I hate the most now because it's the word that she said. She said maybe. And the way she said maybe, I wish she would have said no instead. Because the way she said it, she smiled at me and looked down at the ground super shy and played with her hair. And she said it with like this playful tone in her voice, which really hinted at yes. But she didn't say yes. So I was like super confused, and to this day, I still have no idea whether she would have or not. That is probably, if you're a girl listening to my channel, the cruelest thing you could ever do to a guy is tell him you might go on a date with him, because leading people on like that is so painful. And I remember just like sitting in my car afterwards, because she didn't want the ride home. I was sitting in my car afterwards like, did she want to go? And I mean, like, was she just too shy to say yes? And it was stupid. Anyway, obviously the best answer I could have gotten was a yes, but the second answer I would have preferred would have been a no, because saying maybe just leads me on, and I wasn't sure if she still liked me, and it was just like this roller coaster of confusion, and does she like me at all? Or, so that's just the most messed up thing a girl can do to a guy, or a guy can do to a girl, is lead them on. And I really hope that, just as a lesson to all you guys, don't lead anyone on, and don't let people lead you on, because it's a waste of time. And I'm not sure if I wasted my time on her, because I don't know if she likes me or not. Because if she said no, then I would have been like, alright, time to move on. If she said yes, then it would have been like, awesome, best date ever. But, nothing happened. So that's a story of what would have been the best date ever, and I hope you guys liked it, because that was probably the most painful thing that happened to me this year. But it was probably my favorite story that I have to tell from it. Alright, moving on from the story of me almost having the best date ever, but not. That really made my October really sad and sucky. So my November was actually the complete opposite. This is when you guys voted for me for president to become your AC3 shoutcaster for competitive gaming on Machinima Respawn. And as I speak, that tournament is going on. So I look forward to shoutcasting for you guys. I'm really, really thankful that you guys voted for me, because now I can add shoutcaster to my resume of things I can do, because that resume is actually pretty empty. So the fact that you guys voted for me as shoutcaster, the fact that I've been getting so much growth on my channel in November and December, that's pretty much wrapping up the 400 subscriber special. I want to thank you guys for all your support, everything you guys have done for me, and for listening to 3 videos of me talking. I really appreciate it if you guys have listened to every single one of them. If you actually skipped ahead to the end, then shame on you, but the previous 2, so you can get some context, are in the description. Thank you guys for watching the 400 subscriber special. Here's to 500 subscribers and another year of YouTube videos. This has been a year in review for 2012, as well as just a thank you to all you guys for listening to me ramble on about my life and about games and watching my gameplay. Just thank you all. And if you want to follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/StelShampoo for all the latest updates on my channel, then feel free to do that. I'm Nikki. Thank you guys for watching my channel once again, and I will see you all in 2013. Nikki out.